Huh, was I already streaming? Okay. Shit, I didn't think I was live. I guess I am. Yeah, I'm definitely live. All right, what's up, fellas? Might have been an empty chair there for a few seconds. Merry Christmas, everyone. How's everyone doing? I haven't started the Jesus Christ. I haven't even started the Zoom meeting. I don't know. I have nothing prepared for today. I just figured, I don't have anything else going on at the moment, so I might as well have a chill sesh and see if anyone else wants to call in. This might be a really short stream. There might be no one here tonight. Totally possible. It is Christmas Eve after all. But I was thrown off by this going live. It usually makes me click an extra button to go live. So I didn't think I was, but I am. Let's see, I thought I just invited myself. There we go. Oh, geez. Trying a slightly different setup, and it's not working perfectly. Oh, goodness. Give me a moment, fellas. I don't think anyone's even in the stream right now, so it's all good. This is probably going to be unlisted shortly anyways. But there we go. There we go. All right. Let me post the invite link in chat here. That's, yeah, there we go. If anyone would like to join, chill with the goob a little bit. Like I said, I have absolutely nothing prepared for today. I have no topics. It doesn't even have to be history related. It's Christmas, I just again just came here to chill, share your holiday cheer, share your holiday woes, share completely unrelated things. It doesn't matter. This is just a chill sesh. So while I wait for people, if anyone shows up, cool. If not, that's also cool. I'm gonna share a little bit of this. I guess I can't scroll down and have chat up at the same time. But yeah, this is Neural Pathways. I actually don't watch any of their videos, but every single day, I mean, this was 2 hours ago, they just posted this. They post fascinating historical sites and artifacts, and it's often, a lot of it is things I've seen before, but a lot of it is stuff I've never seen before. I guess I gotta flip through the pictures here. Yeah, this is cool, however you say that. Santa Cruz, Mexico. So this is in the US. And these are dated potentially to 1500 BC. Very interesting petroglyphs here. What is that? Some kind of butterfly, bumblebee, elephant? I don't know. Rather interesting though. And that's what this channel does. Is just every day they post multiple. Are these all from today? So this is 3 posts just today on Christmas Eve, right? It's a very busy channel. I love looking through their community posts. This is Central Java, Indonesia. Pretty cool statue there. There's so many temples over in Indonesia and India and that whole area. I mean, they could do a couple years worth of posts just posting those temples over there each day. But yeah, a lot of this stuff is probably stuff you've never seen. I'm into this stuff, and a lot of it's stuff I've never seen. Really fun channel here. Hey Perry, how's it going? Merry Christmas to you. And feel free to call in and chat if you want. I assume that's the Japanese. Yeah, they do. And the Yanaguni Monument, which I talked a little bit about last week, and I think I incorrectly said that the circular structure was a part of Yanaguni Monument. It's not a part of that specific monument, but it's also underwater off the coast of Japan. There's a few different interesting things off the coast of Japan. And when sea levels rose 12,000 years ago, it covered roughly the size of China, Europe, and the US combined. So I think there's a lot of interesting architecture that we have yet to discover that's sunken underneath the waves now. I mean, 90% of our population today lives along the coastline, and I don't see why that wouldn't have been true in the past. So 90% of the civilizations that would have existed have sank underneath the ocean now. But yeah, Indonesia, another site in Indonesia here. There's a whole field of these giant, I guess they're being called funerary urns, which maybe that was their initial purpose. Maybe not. I've seen these things. This is interesting. This gorilla wheel. I've seen the same thing in Central or South America. So that's interesting. The same exact kind of gorilla wheel over in the mountains. Kind of cool. Some cool little figures there. Oopsies. But yeah, I mean, every single day this channel posts stuff. I love it. Highly recommend it. Again, don't know how the quality of their videos are because I just don't actually watch them, but these posts every single day. My computer's rather slow. I wish there was a way for me to, let's see, I guess if I change the size of the screens here, I can keep chat up and I can scroll through here. That works. How's your Christmas going, Mr. Perry? Hey, Mr. Galunas, how's it going? Merry Christmas to you. Tape Narenj in the Zanjan province of Iran. I promise I'm butchering all of these pronunciations, but excavations at Tepe Narenj have unearthed a variety of artifacts. So this is another Tepe, I guess. I don't know what Tepe means exactly, but they're all over Turkey. 1,800 years old ceramics, metalwork, and architectural remains. Nice. Turkey cutlets are good. So, I don't have anything prepared, but if I am going to talk about something, you know, if no one wants to call in and chat about whatever, I guess I'll talk a little bit more about the idea of censorship as I scroll through these posts. And Tepe means hill or mount. Okay, good to know. That makes sense. That makes sense. But you know, I was talking about like Gunung Padang, and how just a few weeks ago it was unsearchable on Google, unless you had the exact specific words of Gunung Padang. I don't know what's going on with my voice here. We got a frog in my throat. So yeah, without the exact search words Gunung Padang, you weren't going to find it in Google. No matter how descriptive of the site you got, it just wasn't going to come up. And this is true for so many things. And this is a very effective way at rewriting history because unless you remember, even people who have like a memory of it, like I had a memory of Gunung Padang, but I couldn't find it with descriptors. So even though these records still exist, they're delisted, and so they're only accessible to people who already know not only of their existence, but exactly what they're looking for. And this is happening more and more with more and more things, and it's been going on for a long time. It's getting a lot more noticeable because it's becoming much more wide-reaching. But I showed that picture on Stolen History, I think a few weeks ago, of that Roman ruin that was just absolutely massive. And I don't think anyone in the chat had seen it before. I had only seen it before on Stolen History. Like, I'd not seen it outside of there. And I've seen so many pictures like that. I mean, truly, probably in the thousands of different sites and objects and artifacts and technology and all of this kind of stuff that really isn't talked about in the mainstream narrative and is being actively covered up and suppressed from the mainstream narrative. But there's no shortage of that type of stuff. And yeah, the censorship is very real. And not only do websites go down all the time, so this stuff is slowly being erased from the internet, like for good. Like I had to pull up that chariot wheel from the coal mine on a Russian website because these websites over time they do disappear and they are erased for good. But the process starts with things being delisted. You know, first they might debunk and dismiss these things, and then they start delisting these things, and then the websites start actually disappearing. So the actual evidence, you know, unless you're going deep into archives of libraries and stuff, is disappearing. And as it fades from people's memories, it fades from existence. It no longer exists. It's been fully erased from, you know, the narrative, and this has been happening for a very long time. It's nothing new. This is part of human nature. You heard of, yeah, the Chinese pyramids are rather interesting, and but yeah, this is human nature. It's been going on for a long time. I've talked a lot about the Antikythera mechanism, and let's see if I can how that, there we go. I've talked a lot about the Antikythera mechanism, and it's rather interesting for a whole bunch of reasons. One of them is that it's well beyond what we thought these people were capable of. But I also kind of ridiculed historians for the attitude that they had of dismissing the Antikythera mechanism, despite the fact that it had been written about. But I've also talked about how there are no written records from Greece or Rome for the like large portion of early Rome. There's zero words actually written by Roman and Greek people that have survived to today. It is all things that have been written far later in history by other people making copies or just trying to record history. But the largest source for Roman history that we have comes from a guy named Livy, and he was writing about events 600 years prior to him, right? So the Antikythera mechanism, it is in texts, but they don't actually, no records of the Antikythera mechanism appear until the 1400s, which is a very long time, very long. I'm trying to remember how old the Antikythera mechanism was, and I'm actually going to Google real quick because I don't want to say the wrong date, but I want to say a few thousand years, like 2,000 years, that is, it disappeared. 2nd century BC, so not quite 2,000 years, but, you know, 1,600 years this thing disappeared from, it was created 1600 years before it actually appears in writings of it. So I ridiculed the, historians for being dismissive of these writings, but they have good reason to be dismissive of these writings. And this also ties into the phantom history, the phantom time hypothesis that the Dark Ages were inserted, because there are a lot of very strange things, like the Antikythera mechanism disappearing from the record for 1600 years and then reappearing, and reappearing accurately too. It was described in texts in the 1400s. Is someone calling in? What the hell's going on? I don't know what's happening right now. I see my phone is making noises, but I see no notification. I see nothing that would explain the noises. There we go. Okay. Admitted Michael, but the noises still haven't stopped. What the hell is going on here? This is I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave the meeting because I don't know what else to do, if I even can leave the meeting here. Goodness gracious. And that didn't even stop it. Okay, what the hell, man? I've closed Zoom. What is going on with my phone? I don't know what this is. I don't know how to stop it. I don't know what the fuck is happening. There's nothing for me to close on my phone. I can't stop. I have to restart my phone. All right. I am restarting my phone. I can't restart my phone. Wow. What is happening? Okay. I don't Michael, I think you're still in the Zoom meeting. You should still. I don't know if you can hear me through Zoom, Mr. Galunas, because I'm not on Zoom through my phone, but people should still be able to hear me through the show. You can join on Zoom. No, you're not in the meeting anymore. You can rejoin. My phone is restarting. Give me just a second. I have a chicken alarm going off on my other phone in another room. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and yeah. I don't know what that was. I hope that doesn't happen every time someone calls in. I'll have to figure. If it does, I can go back to the old way I was doing this. I found a way to make joining meetings slightly easier for myself. So, but maybe it doesn't work. Let's see. All right. I'm back with the phone. Back in the meeting. Mr. Galunas, please feel free to call in again. And if it does break the show again, whatever. I'll go back to the old way, and it'll just take me a few extra seconds to log into the Zoom meeting. It's not a problem. The biggest pyramids are in the USA. Expand on that, man. Call in and expand on that. I don't know if the biggest pyramids are in the USA, but I know that there were a lot of pyramids in the USA. CF Apps documents some of them on his channel. There's other people that have talked about them. Graham Hancock was just recently talking about them. There are a lot of them. I don't know. Some of them, if you want to call an earth mound a pyramid, I don't know. But there's certainly a lot of mounds and probably some straight up stone pyramids as well. I know there are certainly in Central and South America. Newgrange in Ireland. I know I've heard of that place, but I can't picture it just from the name in my head. I am pro Kithra mechanisms as well. Big megalithic in Newgrange. Okay, well, it didn't break the phone that time. You are now in the meeting. I don't think your audio is connected yet because I don't see the microphone symbol, but welcome, Mr. Galunas. That was a fun. I don't know what that was, but fun times. Definitely wasn't your fault, Mr. Galunas. That was, I think, a legitimate technical difficulty. I don't even think that was my fault. The Wolf Tones wrote a song about it. Okay. Yeah, I've definitely heard of it. I'm pretty sure I've seen it before, so let's look it up. Newgrange. Oh, is this the... Yeah, okay, I know exactly what this is. Yep. It is really quite something. And there are... Mr. Galunas, you are on camera again. I'll keep Zoom off my screen because I don't know if you want to be on camera. You're welcome to be on camera. I also still don't hear your audio. So you've activated the camera, but not the audio. Yeah, this place is... Let's see if there's some pictures from the inside. Yeah, very, very cool site, the Newgrange site. And there are some really, really old domes, and domes are rather complicated structures, so that's pretty impressive. Yeah, I still see you, Mr. Galunas, but I still don't hear you. So I think this one is you. I don't think it's me. Oh, sorry. Tried to not. Jesus Christ. My bad. Well, people saw your face now. You've been exposed to the internet, Mr. Galunas. So while Galunas figures that out, I'll go back to these neural pathways posts because they're rather interesting. Mes Anak, which I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that as well. Little Copper Well in Dari. Located in Afghanistan, 2nd to 7th centuries AD. So about 1,500 years old. Pretty cool stuff here. I've definitely never seen or heard about this talked about anywhere. And a lot of what's posted here isn't necessarily having anything to do with like rewriting history. Some of it, I would say, is. But it's just cool archaeological sites and artifacts that you probably won't otherwise see. And they're fed to you daily, multiple times a day. This necropolis, not even going to attempt that. And Sanlierf, gosh, and it's a fancy N. So, Mr. Galunas, you're still in the meeting. Your camera's off now. Still don't hear you. I am going to go back here and see if... I don't think there's any reason... Don't think there's any... Okay, I see your microphone is on. Let me try something here. It might be me messing up this time.
My microphone is unmuted. Your video is stopped.
Okay.
It says my microphone is muted and my video is stopped.
I hear you now.
Video.
Yeah, it was on my end. Sorry about that, Michael. Yeah, don't. All right. So, let's see if I can get.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
Yeah, I can hear you, and I believe everyone else can hear you now.
Check 1 2.
Can you hear me, Michael?
Huh.
Now I can hear you, but you can't hear me.
My microphone is on. Check 1 2.
I hear you.
Your microphone is unmuted and your video is stopped. This should be backwards.
I don't know where my video went either. I don't see. This is a fantastic stream. This is perfect. I need to figure out my tech issues. What better time than Christmas Eve? I can hear you, Michael, but you can't seem to hear me.
Breaker 19, Tommy, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Where the hell did my video go? Oh my god. I can't figure out how to get my video back. I hope this is entertaining for you guys.
It feels like I'm lagging. Yeah, it's going back and forth. This is weird.
Okay, so you can hear me now?
Yeah, it's like recording me. There's a big lapse.
Okay.
Oh, wow, we're way behind.
There we go. There's my video. I'm sideways for some reason. And when I rotate my phone, I go sideways again.
Way.
This is great. This is great, fellas.
We're not synced.
Yeah.
Entertained.
All right. I'm going to say now. When I say now, you say now. 1, 2, 3, now. Holy crap, that's a long lag. Or maybe you just didn't. Maybe you just didn't say it. But yeah, okay. I don't know what's going on here. I'm gonna try one more time. I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3 now, and then you say it to see how long this lag is. 1, 2, 3 now.
I still feel like it's got to be my fault though somehow. Holy boomer, Batman. Yeah. Weird.
Okay, Mr. Glunas, are you listening to the YouTube audio?
Okay.
While looking.
Now.
Wow, that's an incredibly long lag. I have to think you're listening to the YouTube audio.
Actually, that was then.
All right. I think I fixed it.
Wait a minute, is that you from the future? Oh my god.
I think I fixed it. It wasn't even you. It was me. It was me the entire time. I am the boomer here.
Oh my god. Hold on. Holy boomer, Batman. Let me pause that one.
Yeah.
Holy cow. All right, that was
wild.
All right.
So,
go ahead.
So now, actually, because I'm curious, I just want to see what the echo's like on my stream. So I want to play it. Yeah, man, Mr. Glunas, now that we can hear each other, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm not sure who I'm talking to now. The goo from now or the goo from 5 minutes ago?
My goodness.
No. Yeah, I'm doing good, dude. How are you?
Oh, good. I'm not even going to worry about that. And let me know in the chat if the echo's too bad, but hopefully it's not. Yeah, man, you enjoying your Christmas?
Oh, yeah. I'm down in Kentucky, which kind of was what has been bringing me to the mounds and stuff. I don't know if I'd consider a mound like a pyramid per se. I haven't personally seen them, but I find it kind of remarkable that, I mean, I grew up in upstate New York. There's all these kind of chambers downstate, and then out west there's a bunch of the mounds, and those mounds go all the way from like Canada, Lake Ontario, Lake Erie, all the way down to Florida. You know what I mean?
Okay.
All the way down to Mississippi. And I've never heard of them until just recently. I watched a video on YouTube about a dude, somewhere by Serpent Mound. And he's like, yeah, I lived here for like 40 years and I've never heard of this thing until just recently. It's kind of weird how some of the hugest megaliths in the world have been lying in our backyard the whole time and nobody really knew.
Yeah. I mean, I know of Serpent Mound, and I've seen a lot of mounds, but I didn't even realize they stretched, all the way into Canada.
All
So,
the way into Canada, all the
yeah.
way, they follow all of the rivers. And the weirdest thing is, you would think, I don't know, for some reason, you would think the ones in the north were the newest ones, or the oldest ones, I mean, and they're the newest ones. The ones in
Okay.
like Florida and Mississippi, which Cahokia, I believe, it's Poverty Point that's in Mississippi. Poverty Point's in Mississippi, and that one is like huge. You know what I mean? I think that's the one I might be confusing and calling a pyramid. And then Cahokia is where St. Louis was, and that was huge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Huge.
I
Like
don't
the
even think I
mounds.
know Poverty Point. That one sounds new to me.
Yeah, look into it. And I can't
Okay.
remember which one, but some not good stuff was going on where they were like, sacrificing a lot of girls. Where were they getting these girls? Like young teenage girls and stuff. It's kind of weird. Like, and then that whole thing. I don't know. I have this whole thing where the new world ain't new, and I'm a bit of a diffusionist when it comes to it.
Well, I
And
think
so,
that slowly that perspective is coming in line with the New World is not new. Um,
right,
there's been genetic testing done,
right,
and the people from Papua New Guinea, seem to have been over here. There seems to be travel back and forth. Long, long, long before Clovis and the
right.
supposed timeline. So, um, yeah, and
Yeah,
you
they keep
were
going back and back.
go
All the
on.
time. Like one of the ones I'm not sure if it's the Poverty Point one. If they're not saying it's like 11,000 years ago. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, a lot of
the
this is
Indians
dating
in
back to the Ice
Cahokia.
Age.
Right, right. The Indians in Cahokia are saying like the when was it the dude Daniel Boone when he met up with them and they were like, yeah, we just moved in, nobody, or we ran off the people, or nobody was here. And one of the two of them, it was like nobody was there and they just moved in, and the other one they ran the people out and they moved in. So like, who were these people, right? That's really the question.
Yeah, and I don't know what stock you put in like these genetic tests, but it seems
I don't
they
know.
are, according to those, different than what we were expecting. I think Asia was kind of the leading hypothesis, is that people came from there, but um, yeah, there's like Papua New Guinea, Australian Aboriginal DNA that they're finding.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of very
Have you
interesting things that you wouldn't necessarily expect according to the mainstream.
There's that one lady in New Guinea. Was it New Guinea? Is it? There's this like tribe of red-haired Maoris. Is that the same place? New Guinea, is that where the Maoris are?
I
Or am I?
the Maoris I thought were like Hawaii. Am I?
Okay.
I'm
And
kind of
where do they
retarded
come from?
though, so
Yeah, I understand. Me too. I have all these terms in my head. I know. Anyway, there was this. Anyway, if you look into like the Maoris, the red-headed Maoris, and the lady basically says like her family was run out, and this woman's like looks like a white woman, and she's like, we were run out of Persia, basically, went through India, in down through into those islands there, and then from there people went on over and kept going. You know what I mean?
yeah, I haven't heard of the red-headed Maoris either. You're giving me some interesting things to look into. I
Or
appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, dude. I got your email address, but I've just been moving around a lot lately. But I'll hit you
I
up on
get it.
that, and we'll chat.
Yeah. It's, life is busy. I get it.
Yeah, I got you, dude. You got that chicken alarm going off. How many chickens do you have?
Jesus, I'm embarrassed to answer that question because I had a lot more than I have now. But
Well, you eating them or they just
no, they are being eaten, just not
okay?
not by people.
Not by you.
Yeah,
Oh man.
yeah, the predators
Some coop.
have been getting to them.
Like,
So
see,
yeah,
I
that's the
have
alarm to let me
chickens.
know to go lock them up so they don't get eaten. So
Nice.
I'll have to
Nice.
make sure I don't go too late on this stream so I
Word.
can keep them safe.
Word. All right, buddy. You have yourself a good Christmas, man.
You too, man.
All right,
Thanks for
bye-bye.
calling in.
Yeah, you too. Bye. Oh, you too. You didn't call.
I got you, bro.
I can't even. I don't even know if I can get out of the thing.
Let's see if I can. Okay, you're out. So yeah, he mentioned massive megaliths in North America, and these are in Russia, not in North America. And I'll see if I can find some even better pictures. But there is this wall, this massive. I mean, it's a mountain. It is a mountain, but many people speculate this is a constructed wall. Here you can see, rather block-like features. Goes up very tall. Are these natural formations or man-made? Hard to say, but there are some other features that look much, much more man-made, and I'll see if I can find some images of those. If this is man-made, I mean, it's got to be like the biggest megalithic site in the world that we know of, have found so far. But this is deep, deep, deep. I might pull up a map of Russia and try and show you just how in the middle of nowhere this is. It's like hundreds of miles from any type of civilization. This is really, really deep in the Ural Mountains. But still people have trekked out to it. I mean, is that natural right there? Maybe. I'm not a rockologist, so maybe, but man, those sure look like stone blocks fitted together. And I've never seen that image before. That's rather interesting. But there's some lentils and archways. I'll see if I can find images of those, if those are a part of this. Okay, this is a great picture because it shows you just how big this thing is, and I don't know how far it stretches in the other direction or how far it might stretch past this picture, but this potential wall in the Ural Mountains of Russia is absolutely massive. Whether it's a natural formation or whether it's man-made, it's absolutely massive. I don't know if this is a part of this, if it's in the vicinity or not. But there is a structure somewhat similar to this that I've seen at least claimed to be a part of this wall. I'm not seeing the image right now. But yeah, there's the Montana megaliths. There's this wall in the Ural Mountains. There's a lot of things. There's, as I was talking about, that image in Stolen History forums of the massive megalithic runes in Rome, where even when that wood etching was taken, they were very much ruins. The building was no longer there. It was just this massive, massive foundation. But there's so much of this stuff that we just don't hear about. And I think it was Mr. Glunis was talking about over in the northeast of the United States, how there's some massive megalithic structures. Many of them accredited to like the 1800s, to modern times, but these are structures that are larger in weight than the Great Pyramids. They are these miles and miles of this megalithic constructed walls, so regardless of when it was constructed, it's just damn impressive, and you never hear about it. You've probably not seen it other than on this channel. Galunus has seen some of it, but these are rare things. Yangshuan Quarry. So this is in China. This is a massive, massive, massive block. Much larger than the pregnant woman in Baalbek, which is over 1,000 tons. In fact, it's so big that people dismiss this as an actual quarry site and say this was never a block intended to be quarried. And there's a few other blocks over there. But yeah, if anyone else would like to call in, this Zoom meeting is about to end, so I'll go ahead and restart this. But if no one else wants to call in, I think I'll probably end this pretty soon because it's Christmas Eve and I didn't have anything prepared. This really is just a chill sesh, call in about anything. Very open phone lines, very open topics. Doesn't even have to be history related. You can call in and tell me what you're wishing for Christmas. I'm not saying I'm not going to get it for you, but just feel free. Yeah, there's a lot of the dolmens all over the world, especially in Europe and America and England. Lots and lots of dolmens. Okay, so I've streamlined this process a little bit. Let's see how much easier this is now. Invite myself. Accept. That's much easier. All right, and then I'll drop this in the chat. So if anyone would like to join, that is the link to do so. Yeah, man. And this is why I love neural pathways, because this whole theme I'm talking about of things that you just never see, this channel is absolutely fantastic for providing that type of content. 2 shipwrecks discovered with over 100,000 Ming Dynasty porcelain pieces. 500-year-old ships were found 5,000 feet under the South China Sea. This is only 500 years old, but it's still pretty darn cool. Look at all that China. Wow, that's a lot of China. San Andreas Archaeological Park. I was just looking into this. Probably because I saw it on this channel, actually. El Salvador, Central America. It's in, if I recall correctly, it's in like this middle of a city. It was actively used 1,500 years ago, roughly. And it might date back even earlier than that. Betcha the China is dishwasher. Oh, yeah. I don't know. They might have been using lead back then, too. China had... so next week's episode, I plan on talking about... As I scratch my dog's butt here. I plan on talking about a continuation of OOP-arts, but rather than actual artifacts, I kind of want to talk about knowledge, so like out-of-place knowledge. So people have known many, many things that they really shouldn't be knowing, according to the mainstream. I've talked about the skulls, the trepanned skulls, and how in multiple different parts of the world, during multiple different time periods, over 1,000 years ago, and spanning thousands of years, ancient people have achieved higher survival rates for trepanning or craniectomies. Yes, I love you, girl. Than we achieve today. So we've got like an 83% survival rate today. There were people in the past achieving a 90+% survival rate using the same exact reasons to do the surgery, which is emergency surgery because someone suffered traumatic head injury. So that's one example of like knowledge that supposedly shouldn't be had. What do I want for Christmas? I just want people to tune in and call in and enjoy the show. That's what I'm wishing for. Um, but I've got a lot of other examples of knowledge that really shouldn't have existed in the time period it existed, uh, according to the mainstream narrative. So hopefully that's something you guys can look forward to. So that's cool. Mr. Glunas, did you start following Neural Pathways because I recommended it, or have you been following them? Either way would be cool. The Azore Islands. The Azore Islands are one of the suspected locations for Atlantis. Um, sorry, give me just a second here. Yeah, the Azore Islands, a lot of people suspect could be the location of the lost city of Atlantis, that some of those islands have sunk, and they seem to think it fits the description. I don't know. I don't know where Atlantis is. If we are talking about a civilization that was over 12,000 years old, that was never actually called Atlantis, I don't think we'll ever truly know, even if we find an advanced civilization in the past. Was that Atlantis or was that some other civilization? We'll probably never really know, but some people suspect it was the Azores. Why is everything this person has to post so impossible to pronounce? Xochipala figurines are collection of ancient Mesoamerican sculptures. Discovered it, Xochipala. Quite old, 2,200 to 3,700 years old. So, well over 2,000 years old. And man, look at that. That is. And think about the Dark Ages. People couldn't paint anything, right? And this is a 3D sculpture that's really, really impressive here. Interesting facial structure on the woman there. Big cheeks on the man too, but really some big cheeks on that woman. But incredible sculpting there. Over 2,000 years old. She's got a blanket on. Very detailed face. I've never seen these before. This channel's awesome. So, yeah, I think that's going to be it for me, unless anyone else wants to call in or share any thoughts. This was just a chill sesh. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys are enjoying your Christmas. I will be back next week, like I said, with an episode about knowledge that shouldn't have existed. You learned it through my show. Cool. I'm glad that people are enjoying at least some of the recommendations I'm making. I've spent a long time looking into this stuff, and there's a lot of, I don't know. I followed Uncharted X. I still like Uncharted X, honestly, but like I followed him for years and didn't realize what he was sharing was largely bogus. And so I'm doing my best to give my best recommendations that I've whittled down throughout the years of looking into this stuff, and hopefully it does you some service. But Mr. Flimmets, I don't think I have any thoughts to share on that at the moment. I might look into it. It is something I have looked into in the past. I mean, not necessarily that specific question, but I've studied that bit of history a bit. It's been a while. I'm rusty. I'm not confident enough in my thoughts to share anything on it now, but I might talk about that later. It was quite fascinating, though, the Golden Age. And I think a lot of it had to do with religion, the way those religions worked back then. and I guess still do today, but like very secret. It was all very secret. Um, there was an example here. I'll see if I have it in my notes on my phone here. If I can pull this up real quick. Um, it was just an example of a family that was using it. Let's see. I'm reading my note now. Right. So the Stradivari violins. That was just the example I had in my notes here. And it's one example of many. My phone is. I'm using a different phone, a newer phone. You would think it would be better, but it doesn't seem that way. So the Stradivari violin, there was a Stradivari family. I'm sure all of you know Stradivarius violins. They're very, very famous. They're extremely famous for their sound, and scientists have been studying them for many, many years now, trying to figure out what makes them so special. But it was a family technique, right? They kept the technique within the family, and eventually the family died off, and the technique was lost. And this happens to so much, so much stuff. This is the way of the world, you know. And I think a lot of the knowledge, the wisdom, the technology back then, it was also kept very secret. They were, there was a lot of different factions at war with each other, a lot of different countries at war with each other. You weren't just sharing this stuff openly. And so, two guys know the KFC recipe, right? They both die. That's lost forever. That recipe probably not lost forever. That's not really the greatest secret of the world, right? But a lot of this stuff, like the Antikythera mechanism, the other robots during the Islamic period, um, that golden age that you mentioned, um, I think a lot of that is due just to the fact that it was all very secret, and there was a lot of conflict, and so you have secrets and conflict and death, and things just get lost. I don't think that's the entire explanation, but I do think that accounts for a great deal of it. So, kind of natural human nature, unfortunately, and there's been thousands and thousands of years of that going on, and the trend of history and the trend of humanity is losing knowledge, not gaining it. Yes, in certain ways we progress and we gain knowledge, but the trend is destruction, the trend is secrecy, the trend is loss. So we look forward to the fruits of my research. Thank you, Mr. Flimitz. Hopefully I don't disappoint you. But yeah, all right, fellas. I'm signing out. Thank you for joining me on this Christmas Eve. And I hope you enjoy your Christmas morning. Hope you get everything you asked for. And I will see you next week. Peace out. There we go.